Welcome to the Biopharma Business Intelligence Unit, where symbolic integrity meets strategic clarity. At BBIU, we go beyond the headlines to decode the structural forces behind global biopharma, AI, and economic realignment. If you value precision, verification, and symbolic depth, this channel is for you. Subscribe now to access our weekly briefings, dossiers, and intelligence reports, and consider joining our institutional tier to unlock early warning systems, custom metrics, and exclusive strategic insight. You're not just listening, you're entering the future of epistemic intelligence. www.biopharmabusinessintelligenceunit.com.
Oral semaglutide 25 milligrams, OASIS 4 trial SEP 18, BBIU 5 Laws Integrity Report Executive Summary. The OASIS 4 trial, published in NEJM on September 17, 2025, demonstrates that oral semaglutide 25 mg produces a 13.6% mean weight reduction over 64 weeks in adults with overweight or obesity, compared with minus 2.2% with placebo. Conducted at 22 sites in 4 countries, N equals 307, this Phase 3 trial expands the therapeutic horizon of GLP-1 agonists beyond injectables, establishing an intermediate oral dose between the already explored 50 milligrams oral formulation and the standard 2.4 milligrams injectable. The results consolidate Novo Nordisk's dominance in the obesity market, but raise significant questions around safety, adherence, and market positioning. Background: obesity prevalence continues to rise globally, creating demand for effective pharmacological solutions. Injectable GLP-1s, semaglutide 2.4 milligrams, tirzepatide, have set a new therapeutic standard. Oral semaglutide, 7 to 14 milligrams, is already approved for T2D, but higher doses were required for obesity management. OASIS 4 tests an oral 25 milligrams dose as a balance, lower pill burden than 50 milligrams, but sufficient efficacy. Study design: data derived from clinicaltrials.gov NCT 056497. Type: double-blind, randomized, placebo-controlled. Population: adults without diabetes, BMI 30 or 27 with obesity-related comorbidity. Randomization: 2:1, semaglutide 25 milligrams daily versus placebo, lifestyle intervention provided to both arms. Primary endpoints: week 64, % change in body weight, 5% weight reduction. Secondary endpoints: TIV10, 15% at 20% weight reduction, change in IWQL Light CT physical function score. Enrollment: 307 participants, 205 active, 102 placebo. Clinicaltrials.gov ID NCT 056417. Results: weight reduction, minus 13.6% active versus minus 2.2 placebo. Difference: minus 11.4 pp, 95% CI, minus 13.9 to minus 9.0 p.01. Response rates: significantly higher in active arm for 5%, 10%, 20% cutoffs, all p.001. Quality of life: IWQOL Light CT score improved, p.001. Adverse events: gastrointestinal adverse events in 74% of active group versus 42% placebo, predominantly nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. Serious adverse events, SAEs, not specified in the published abstract, full details likely available in the supplementary appendix. Structural findings: clinical impact, oral semi 25 milligrams proves effective, bridging the gap between injectables and the higher 50 milligrams oral dose. Market positioning: Novo Nordisk can present 25 milligrams as a cost-effective, tolerable alternative to injectables, expanding addressable population. Risks: high rate of GI intolerance, 74%. Daily dosing may reduce adherence compared with weekly injections. Competition from tirzepatide and retatrutide with superior efficacy benchmarks. Absence of SAE data in main publication reduces transparency of safety profile. Symbolic dimension: oral semaglutide 25 milligrams represents the democratization of GLP-1 therapy, moving from luxury injectables to mass oral therapy, shifting obesity treatment paradigm to chronic daily management akin to statins. BBIU opinion clinical layer: when positioned against CagriSema, cagrilintide plus semaglutide, BBIU article link, the OASIS 4 results look both promising and limited. Magnitude of weight loss: oral semaglutide 25 milligrams achieved minus 13.6% at 64 weeks, whereas CagriSema demonstrated minus 20% in non-diabetic patients and minus 13.7% in type 2 diabetes populations. The combination therapy clearly delivers a superior effect, approaching bariatric surgery outcomes, while semaglutide monotherapy remains mid-tier. Trial population: OASIS 4 excluded patients with diabetes, restricting external validity. For the diabetic population, any prescription of the 25 milligrams oral formulation would be off-label, placing full responsibility on the prescribing physician. By contrast, CagriSema trials directly addressed both non-diabetic and diabetic cohorts, offering broader clinical applicability. Safety data. In OASIS 4, only aggregate gastrointestinal adverse events were disclosed, 74% versus 42% placebo. Serious adverse events, SAEs, were not reported in the NEJM abstract, leaving a critical gap in safety assessment. In contrast, the CagriSema reports included a fuller safety disclosure, emphasizing tolerability but also transparent reporting of SAE incidents. This asymmetry highlights Novo's strategy of selectively emphasizing efficacy in OASIS 4 while deferring comprehensive risk disclosure. Posology and adherence. The oral route provides a substantial practical advantage. Daily pills bypass the aversion many patients have to injections and eliminate the cumbersome process of antisepsis, dosage priming, needle administration, and post-injection care. This shift to oral delivery also reduces manufacturing and distribution costs, making the product potentially cheaper than injectables and thus easier to integrate into routine primary care. Clinical synthesis. OASIS 4 broadens the therapeutic landscape, but does not redefine it. CagriSema remains the benchmark in terms of efficacy. Oral semaglutide 25 milligrams instead symbolizes accessibility and convenience, creating a product that may not win in efficacy but may dominate in patient acceptance and market penetration. The absence of SAE reporting, however, undermines confidence in its long-term deployment at scale. Economic and strategic layer product ladder strategy. Novo Nordisk is clearly constructing a tiered GLP-1 portfolio. Injectables, Wegovy 2.4 milligrams weekly, oral 50 milligrams high-dose efficacy, oral 25 milligrams intermediate accessible. This pricing and tolerability ladder ensures that patients who fail, refuse, or cannot tolerate one formulation can be retained within the Novo ecosystem. Cost dynamics. Oral tablets are cheaper to produce, store, and distribute compared to injectables. This opens the door to broader payer adoption in health systems under pressure to contain costs. A lower-cost oral version can be pitched as a first-line obesity therapy, leaving injectables as a premium escalation. Market competition. Tirzepatide, Lilly, offers superior efficacy, especially at higher dose ranges, but still requires injections. CagriSema, Novo's own combination, sets the new efficacy benchmark but remains an injectable. Oral semaglutide 25 milligrams, despite lower efficacy, offers ease of uptake and scale, potentially reaching populations resistant to injections or unable to afford premium therapies. This creates a dual defense. Novo competes against Lilly with oral convenience, while competing against itself, CagriSema, with stratified options. Strategic symbolism. OASIS 4 demonstrates Novo's shift from niche luxury drug to mass-market chronic therapy. The oral 25 milligrams dose is not only a clinical product, but a strategic instrument to normalize obesity pharmacotherapy at scale, embedding semaglutide as a long-term daily pill in the same cultural space as antihypertensives or statins. Risks. Incomplete SAE disclosure raises regulatory and payer skepticism. Daily adherence risk compared to weekly injections. Pricing balance. If 25 milligrams is priced too close to injectables, uptake may stall. If priced too low, it may cannibalize Novo's premium margins. Strategic synthesis. Oral semaglutide 25 milligrams is less a scientific breakthrough and more a commercial architecture maneuver. It expands the addressable market, strengthens Novo's lock-in strategy, and positions GLP-1 therapy as a normalized chronic oral regimen, but at the cost of efficacy trade-offs and transparency gaps in safety.